You know, no matter what time of year it is, there is one thing that really affects us all, um, and that is basically the weather. And very soon, most of us in North America, the continent of North America, are going to be going into a really big deep freeze again. Much worse probably than the one that you guys experienced down south about a week ago, I guess it is now. This one's going to be much colder, and it's all over the weather. I'm sure you guys have seen it. And I just want to see if perhaps you're prepared for it. The possibility of power outages that may last, a few days, a week. It can happen just like that. Extreme weather comes up, freezing rain, sleet, that sort of thing, knocks power out all the time. So join me today as I discuss some affordable options that I use around here on the homestead. My apologies that it's a little bit dark in here. It's my lighting is getting a little bit darker in the day, and I have limited lighting. So anyway, let's just jump in. But before I jump into the discussion, let me first welcome all the new subscribers to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me at Almost Off-Grid Grandma today, and I would like to thank everyone for their continued continued support of my channel. So I appreciate that very much. And if you've never met me before, my name's Krista, and I'm happy that you stopped by. So today we're going to be talking, as I mentioned, about getting prepared for some prolonged power outages, really during unpredictable weather, and some different solutions that I use here. And what I would like to talk about first and foremost, you can see this here. This is a propane tank, a 30-pound propane tank, and I'm not going to bore you guys with the details. Basically, it's screwed on to the top of the propane tank, and it's called, let me just look at it here, Heat Source is what it's called, or no, Heat Star Propane Heater. And it's basically, I bought this for literally approximately $50 at a place here in Canada. So that's $50 Canadian, called Princess Auto. And it's a very simple operation, and it's suitable for small spaces like greenhouses or garages, or in an emergency situation, even a house. If that's all the heat that you have and you don't burn wood heat, then this could be a viable solution. But of course, it requires, ventilation for air. So you need to crack a window open, and I'll talk about that in a little bit about that. So let's just jump right into it. I want to show you how easy it is to operate this. I'm going to turn on the propane valve here at the top, and we're going to turn the setting on to, let's just go with low. There's a little button, you guys probably can't see it here, and the propane tank's quite full, so it's a red button right here. I have my barbecue lighter, so I'm just going to push in this red button. Oh, turned it here accidentally. Push in the red button. It's on. You hold it for a few seconds till it gets going. I might have to turn it so you guys can see the heat. Oh yeah, you guys can see it. All right. So that's on low setting, as you can see right there. And then the next setting up. Oh, I just shut it off. Going the wrong way. That's as high as it'll go. So this is a simple solution that I have here. Obviously, the ventilation that I talked about, and I would never leave something like this running and obviously go to sleep. I wouldn't do that. So I just adjusted it back down again. Guess it's kind of nice that it's a little bit dim in here so you guys can actually see but you can hear it for sure. I'll just leave it on low for a minute. Or did I shut it off? Yeah, I did. Okay, that's it. I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to turn the propane off. Okay. So I talked about ventilation and having a window cracked open. I obviously don't have one cracked open right at the moment, but we didn't leave it on for so long. And I would never go to bed with this type of a heater on for sure. But what I would do is I would, just as a suggestion, I would set my alarm clock type of thing, you know, 2 hours after I go to bed. I would set my alarm clock if it was really cold, and I would get up and I would start the propane heater again for, you know, a limited amount of time or whatever, just to take the chill out of the air, and then I would shut it back down and then continue the same process until I'm up for the morning. Now this other heater right over here, this is called a Hampton Bay patio heater. It's also portable, and I think I could turn it around to show you. I'm not going to be able to turn this one on. There we go. And the reason being is because my igniter's not working today. But inside here is a 1 pound. There you can see it. This is a 1 pound propane cylinder, which is full, and you basically tilt it out like so, like this, in order to screw it on and off. I believe I paid approximately, I'm just going to say, approximately $89 for this. When I looked on the online today, I couldn't find it for those prices at all, guys. It's more like, I think the cheapest one I found was, okay, that's not going to go back on, so that's going to go over here. The cheapest that I was able to find it for was about $140, and I can't remember what store that was, but the reason I liked it was because it's a tabletop model, and it took the 1 pound propane cylinders, which is something that I really liked, and it's easy start. Basically, you turn the knob right here to, it's supposed to be easy start. Well, let's try it. Oh, there's the start mode. Hold it in. See, I can see it sparking up there, but nothing's happening. So I'll deal with that later. But obviously, safety tips when it comes to operating propane in the house. That's not something that you would do without having ventilation, of course. And but the next thing that I would like to talk about is to show you guys how to make a very simple Crisco shortening candle. Now, this particular container is all this is a coated, it's not metal. It's a coated, it's got a heavy coating on the cardboard. So I did go ahead and I took the lid off of it. There was a piece of metal or a piece of tin over top of that, but I've since decided that I wanted to switch it up a little bit, so we're not going to be digging into that today. I'm going to show you a different okay, here's one here. So this is one that I already did a week ago, I guess. Interestingly enough, the last the last video that I did, it was talking about connection and that sort of thing, and being connected with one another and stuff. And didn't I lose my power? Like literally, I don't know, probably I'm gonna say about an hour or an hour and a half after I uploaded that uploaded that video onto the internet. So this is a candle that I did make, and it's made out of Crisco shortening. Just going to take that little thing off of the top of it, and I'm going to light it up. So this was running during that power outage that I had. For my power outage lasted approximately 3 hours, and this was filled up to where, and it's barely burnt anything off of it. So I'm just going to leave that there. Leave it lit. Hopefully you guys can see it here in the, there we go. I'll just leave it lit as we go about making the next one. So why Crisco, you might add? Well, there's a few different reasons for it. It's obviously affordable. This 3 pound container here costs me, I'm going to say maybe $10. I don't have the receipt to show it, but I think it was approximately $10. And you can use very materials that basically you have on hand, like wicks. You can make your own wicks. You can certainly use candles like I have here today. Where'd they go? Here they go. So these are called emergency candles. It came in a case of 12 of them. I paid $12.99 Canadian. You see what they look like there. And I paid $12.99 Canadian, so that works out to 72 cents per candle for 12 of them. I like them. Well, that's pretty much all the hardware store had, but I like the size of them because when it comes to going into a large mason jar, which is where I'm going to put them, the height was practically right on the money, and I don't have to cut too much of it off. Like I literally have to shave about 1/8 off, but I would have to do a little bit more in this one. And so I've already gone ahead and I've heated up the shortening. So I'm just going to cut this wick down a wee little bit. And I'm not going to be able to quite put the candle in it. So I heated it up before I turned the camera on, basically. And we're just going to pour it in here. My hand's in the way, you guys can't see it. So I just used a saucepan, basically. And I'm going to have a little bit extra left over. Whereas this great big one, I ended up using over half. Well, there was only about this much left, so I used over half in order to make the large mason jar one. Now, I did do some research too online, and they do claim that one full, now it would be great if you could just stick a candle down in this if it was metal, but because it's a coated cardboard, you can't. But I think, let me just see if I have see if I can find one in here. Yeah, I do have some. Oh. Okay, so we'll use that as an example. So there, a can of tomatoes would work just fine. So once one of these are emptied, of course, take the paper off of it, and you could certainly utilize that, right? That would be a great alternative to a mason jar. So use what you got, guys. That's basically my way of thinking. So it's affordable. It's also very reliable. So the research that I did do online, the video that I saw today used half a cup of the Crisco shortening, and that half a cup basically lasted for 25.5 hours of burn time. So that's pretty amazing, right? So basically what I'm going to do here is I don't want a big candle like that sticking out of the top. So we're just going to grab a knife. Not that one. This one should work. Yeah, that's not so great, is it? We're just going to judge right about there. Cut that part off. Not so straight. Or, like I said, you could always make your own. Now this is not going to stand up. I might even need to take a little bit more off. Maybe not, I don't think so. It's not going to stand up firmly until such time as the oil starts to set. But basically, if you can picture that oil being a little bit hardened, because I just heated it up basically. So if this is hardened a bit, then it will stand up straight. So for now, I'm just going to let it set in here. Move it off to the side so that I'm not going to upset it. I probably heated that oil just a wee too much. Get these things out of the way. So it has a long burn time, obviously, which was super impressive to me when I seen the, when I seen the test being done. And so this one here, I mean, obviously, I don't know how many half cups are in there. Like, I'd have to look at it. I should have looked at that before I turned on the thing, but it's obviously suitable for lighting. It's also suitable for a heat source as well. So if you had to say, you know, the power's out and that's the only heat source you have is electrical heat, and you needed to put yourself into, like, let's say a bedroom or a smaller room like a living room, and you want it to contain the heat, well, then that would be something good for you to use. I do have something here that I had mine. So I had this candle here last week sitting inside this metal frame just as a place to hold it. So it was sitting in here, and then I took a piece of tin foil, and there's a little bird here, and then there's two metal leaves over here, and what I did was I took the tin foil and I just sort of loosely draped it over, folded it over the leaf so that it created sort of like a little heat dome for it. And that's what but I wouldn't leave, I would always want to put that candle on something. And what did I do with it? I had it right here a second ago. Oh gosh, good grief. So I save things like this, pie plates and that sort of thing. So what I would do is I would just take that and I would have that right there. And another thing, so that when I said that you could treat this as a heat source, so if we were considering the fact that we have a smaller, let's say a smaller mason jar, you could even stack some bricks up on either side of it. But for today's purposes, let's just say we're going to use the Crisco containers here, like so, and we're going to put it on either side of the candle. It's not going to work for this one, so I'm going to have to move this one out of the way just slightly. Let's pretend that it's the littler one and that the Crisco, right? And you could take something like whatever you have, guys. Anyway, this is just a cookie sheet. You could put it there, you could put a pot on there, you could certainly heat something up. Anyway, you could, in an emergency situation, use that for a cooking solution if you wanted to, right? But you would have to set it up in such a way that, you know, it was safe and that sort of thing, and there was a high enough. And the nice thing about that tin is that that candle, the heat from it is going to come, and it's going to come up and it's going to heat up this. The more you can heat up metal, then the longer the heat's going to stay, which is why I like to always put candles in metal things. Just get that out of the way again. Hopefully this might set up by the time we're done today. And a few other lighting options that I have to show you is, well, before we get moved on with that, I wanted to show you this little butane tabletop. Anyway, it's a cook stove. Comes in a little handy carrying case, so that's pretty cool. Take it with you anywhere, going on a picnic or what have you. I actually have two more of these out in the shed, and the reason I bought extras, well, I think one might be sort of on the fritz a little bit, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, I bought a spare, and then Costco had them on sale for like $18 or $19 Canadian funds. So this is what they look like. They're just a single burner. There's the burner here, and then in the front you have your controls here, and I'm just going to set it down. So basically you open this up. This is where the little butane tank goes. This is what the butane tank looks like. It comes in a, at least here where I am, it comes in a pack of, I got it at the hardware store in a pack of 4, and the pack of 4 cost $14.50, I guess. $14.50. Anyway, it worked out to about $3.60 per can. So basically, this is the area that you put it in. There's a little lip here. You put it into the little area where the butane's going to go into. You close that little lip back over it. You close the door, like so. You push down on the lock position, and then you turn it so that you turn until you hear that propane or the butane, and then click. There you go. You guys can see it. That's on high, and that's sort of a medium heat right there. So you can even do, if you had some metal wire like a coat hanger or something like that, you could fashion that so that you could cook toast over this. Obviously you could put a pot or a frying pan or anything like that. So this is another super affordable solution. Like, this cost me $20 literally. The butane, as I said, pack of 4 for $14.50, which worked out to $3.60 each. So that's a super affordable solution, you know, for some emergency preparedness solutions, right? So we've done I don't think that this Crisco oil here, guys, is going to harden enough, but I basically showed you, I think I heated it up a little bit too much, but I did show you this one right here. And basically what I did was I heated it up enough, and then I poured a little bit on the bottom, and then I took one of those emergency candles. I cut off literally 1/8 of an inch in this tall, big mason jar, and then once the shortening began to harden again, I put the candle back in down to hold it into place, and then I poured the cooled, the rest of the cooled shortening over top of it. So basically, that's pretty much all I had to say. Like, these are some super easy, affordable heating solutions for anybody to use. You can use them for lighting. You can use them for cooking, as you can see. The Crisco shortening, the reason that I think that makes an excellent candle is because it's so durable and it's long lasting. And, you know, I might need that for heat. Might be the only, maybe I run out of propane. I don't know. But it's just another, I like to have options. And, you know, the nice thing about finding out that this igniter is not working on this other propane tabletop heater is that that's a hole in my preparedness, right? That's something that needs to either get fixed or get replaced, because I always like to have a backup solution. And, you know, today's Wednesday, my time, Wednesday afternoon. I'm almost 5 p.m., I guess, my time. And, you know, by tomorrow morning when I wake up, my temperature is going to be minus 19, that's Celsius, so that's -2, what did I write down here? Minus 2.2 Fahrenheit. Now, this is going to be heading your guys' way. Like, I'm getting it early because I'm up north in Canada, right on the, in Atlantic Canada on the East Coast, right beside Maine. And by the time I wake up tomorrow and Friday, my temperatures, let me just see what I wrote down here. They're going to be ridiculously cold even for me. So Saturday, so basically for all of Thursday, so all of tomorrow and all of Friday, my temperatures are going to be down to like minus 20. And Saturday rolls around. This is how crazy the weather's going to be. It's going to start to warm up a little bit. And then by Saturday night, I'm going to be having freezing rain, sleet, maybe some snow, who knows, a mix of it all. And so it's going to get really wet. It's going to be really damp. And then by Sunday, light is getting really bad here. By Sunday morning, it's going to be like +2 Celsius here, and it's going to be raining. And then by Sunday night, or I should say by Monday, then I'm dipping back down to -28. That is -18 Fahrenheit for you guys. So it's going to be -28 to -31. So that's going to be an average of between -18 Fahrenheit to -23.8 Fahrenheit. That's some extreme cold. And those colds are going to be lasting basically for me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think, right up until then. So now's the time, guys, to get all the things that you need to get done. Go get your candles. Go get some Crisco shortening. Fill up your propane tanks. If you need an extra heater, this is an excellent option. If you got chicken coops that need to be kept warm. I mean, this is something that you could at least take the chill and the dampness out for an hour or so, and then turn it back off, or whatever your guys' solution is. But some other things too, like you might want to invest in something like this. This is a lantern. And before I leave, I guess I just want to show you just how easy it is. It's got a wick in here. It's got some lamp oil in here. Just light it up. There we go. Now it probably doesn't need to be that big because you can see actual. We don't need soot coming off of it, I guess is what. So turn it down to a manageable flame. These are excellent to have around. So I have this one. And then I have an old-fashioned one here. They're all workable. These lantern ones, you basically, how you operate it is you lift this up. You pull, there's a little lever right here you pull off. So I'm just going to take that out for a second while I light it. Yeah. Okay. The lighter doesn't want to agree with me. Okay. Here we go. Turn that one down as well a little. Oh, it's going to go out. Okay. Well, I don't think I really need to do that, guys, but I just wanted to show you that there are some other options, right? And of course the emergency candles and good old-fashioned candle holders right here. So anyway, this is a little bit wobbly. It doesn't fit super tight, so I would light it up. I would drip some wax in there all around on the sides and on the bottom so that it would hold up the candle properly. So yeah, guys, get your stuff in order, get all your supplies that you're going to need, because this weather is heading your way and it's going real far south this time. Florida, Texas, Mississippi, Oklahoma, yeah, and it's going pretty far. It's going to be pretty far west as well, I think, all the way to South Dakota. There's kind of like a line right in the country. So I wish you well, my friends. Thank you for joining me today. Again, I thank you for all the new subscribers to the channel, and I wish you, to be safe and look after yourselves and look after your animals. Get prepared and get any supplies that you might need, and dig out those warm clothes and jackets and boots and gloves and all the things that you're going to need. So take care, and thanks again for stopping by. Bye for now.